At 18, I was working as a delivery driver for a small Chinese takeout place. The job wasn't great, but the tips made it worth it. Most deliveries were quick, 10 minutes, maybe 15, but every now and then, I'd get an order in the middle of nowhere. One night, just before closing, my boss handed me a last-minute order. A cash delivery, the address, way out of town. I loaded the food into my car and started driving. At first, everything was fine. I had my music on, cruising down familiar roads. Then my GPS led me to a back road, one I'd never taken before. The pavement was cracked, the trees thick on both sides, blocking out the moonlight. I turned onto a narrow dirt path that led to a single house, old, run down, with a dim, flickering porch light. I grabbed the bag and walked up the steps. Just as I raised my hand to knock,
"Hey, over here."
I turned. There, peeking from the side of the house, was an old woman. She looked frail. Her face was hidden in the shadows, but her voice had urgency.
"They gave you the wrong address. You need to come around back."
Something about her wasn't right. I hesitated. "Ma'am, if they gave the wrong address, they'll need to call the restaurant." She took a step forward. The porch light finally caught her face. Sunken eyes, a frozen, unnatural smile.
"You need to come back here. Now."
Before I could respond from inside the house, then another. Then slow, heavy footsteps. The doorknob started to turn. I looked back at the old woman. She was gone. The door opened an inch. The hallway beyond was completely dark. And then, a voice, a low, rasping whisper from the blackness inside.
"Come in."
I dropped the bag and ran. I reached my car, yanked the door open, and locked it. As I sped away, I checked my mirror. The figure stepped off the porch and started walking toward me. I didn't stop driving until I reached the restaurant. I told my boss everything. He called the cops. But when they got there, the house was empty. No furniture, no lights, no sign that anyone had lived there for years. The only thing they found was the bag of food.